Good afternoon, everyone. Got a package in the mail today, which I've already opened, as you can see. And we have the Olight Seeker 2 Pro. Been waiting for this one to come in. 3200 lumens, 250 meter throw. I did a video on the, about dropped it, the S1R Baton 2, which is my EDC light, 1000 lumens. Did a video on this one. Absolutely love this light. Been waiting on this one, the Olight Seeker 2 Pro. Let's give it an open up here. Just open the package here. I really like the packaging so far. It's got the magnetic tape on it, or the magnetic band on it. And we have our instructions, or actually it's the battery, tell you to take the little piece out of the battery so it'll actually work. It's got the band on it. You can either snap it or run your belt through it or clip it. It's got the push button open, and there it is. And just to kind of give you a size comparison, even though this is 3200 lumens, obviously it's still it's the S1R2 Baton. It's not that this one is so big, this one is just so small. Awesome little light. But back to this, kind of put it in the palm of my hand. Fits in the palm of my hand. We'll just take the battery tab off so we get a little power going to it. Oh, there it went. Has the 21, let me see here, 21700, 5000 milliamp, 3.6 volts. Pop that back in. Well, I put the battery in backwards. Let's try this again. There we go. And we have, there's your power buttons. Has the same interface as the S1R. And most Olights, your user interaction is the same. The only difference is this does show you your battery level. It'll go up to 4 max on the green. This is your power. Oh, hold down. There's your next. Hold down. There's your next. Then if you hold down again, it'll go down to the first. So let's just cycle back through. Now to go to turbo, double click. And you can see the fourth one lighting up. And I'm here in the house during the middle of the day, but as you can see, it still lights up rather well. There we go. Then hold. Then the little red light comes on to show you that it's in lockout mode. Let me point this towards you. Hold in, it turns off, lockout mode. That's how you lock it out. To unlock it, hold, the light's on, wait a second. Then you can start cycling through your power functions. And we'll turn it off. Magnetic base, magnetic charge, which should be in here. We'll look at that. Yeah, I really like the looks of this. Solid light. Does not come with a lanyard, but I do have a lanyard that was for this, which obviously you do not need a lanyard. So if I ever do decide I want to use my lanyard, I'll use the one that came with my S1R2 Baton. Excuse me. So set that over there to the side. And of course you have an instruction manual instruction manual. I'm just going to leave that in there. As you can see, is in there. Let's see what this would be. Your charge, which is for your turn it upside down. Boom. There you go. And it has an extra long cord on it too. This cord's probably 3 or 4 foot long. And then it plugs into USB, standard USB. It's got the little band that stays on it so you can, as you can see, and the reason this cord is so long, set this to the side, is because, make sure there's nothing else. Oh, it comes with a cleaning cloth. It comes with, these are for mounting brackets, which I'll show you here in a second, just a couple extra. This is for your cord. This is actually, that has a 3M tape on the back. So if you do decide to mount it, and there's some little screws, wall anchors, so you can put it to the wall. It's got some tape on back. Once again, there's some screws with some wall anchors. Leave those in the package for now. That's basically what that is. Get this out of the way. This is just instructions on mounting it. Set those to the side. Excuse me. Then once again, these little tabs in here, there's 2 to run your cord through if you want to hide your cord. Then this, if it's mounted on your wall, mounts just like that. Then you would have this plugged in, then it'll charge through your mounting bracket. Awesome, awesome charging system. Pretty simple light. And there is one other feature. Let me get it turned back on here. If you want to, and I believe this one has it. Let me try it first. Yeah. So we're going to turn it off. As you can see, it goes off. So let's see what power level it's on. It's on 1, so that's good. So if you want to set a timer on this, on my S1R2, I never have, but it does have, and I'll kind of point it toward you. Push it twice, hold in on the second one, and it'll flash. 1, 2. Oh, I got to turn it on first. I got it locked out. There we go. So 1, 2. You saw it blink. That means it blinked once. So that's on a 3-minute timer. Turn it back on. Click hold. That's how you get your timer going. Oh, turn. And then after 3 minutes, the light will turn off on its own. For some reason, if you're camping, you need a little light and you're going to turn in for the night, this will shut off in 3 minutes after you see that blink. So pretty simple to use. Love the flashlight, love the magnetic base. Now, from what I've seen, this light is too heavy. Actually, we'll go over here and weigh it. And we'll weigh the little S1R2. Make the way to the kitchen here. Happen to have a set of scales. So with battery and everything, let's see here. So that only weighs 1.8 ounces. Let it reset. 6.9 ounces. So it's not a super heavy light, but like the little S1R2 on the wife's mixer here, this is so light, it'll stick basically to anything. This is a heavier light. We're gonna try, yeah, see it won't. Now, if you need it upside down, I can't get it. It's barely hanging on, but upside down, even half, you can see. So this white light does weigh more. So if you're going to use it, if you're working on a vehicle, etc., it won't mount vertically or horizontally. You won't be able to stick it to anything. Yeah, see it just won't hold. But nevertheless, it will do upright. So that's the user interface of it. Pretty simple. We'll wait for it to get dark and we'll see what this thing does at night. See you in a bit. Okay, here's our current situation. This has been on the charger 142, 3, 4, 5, 640. It's been on the charger 5 hours and 20 minutes. I went ahead, I just put this one on the charger, the little S1R2, because I'm going to test this against this just to show the difference between 1,000 and 3,200 lumens. But I had it on this charger, which is now connected to that. It's a 5-volt charger, equals about 10 watts. I Googled it, 10 watts. I found a white charger, which I now have connected to it, which is 12 watts. So hopefully it'll charge a little faster. And obviously with a 21700 battery, it's a big battery, so it's going to throw a lot of light and last longer. To where this is a little 3-volt battery. So this one doesn't take long to charge. When I got this one, the S1R2, it took, if it's close to being drained, it will take an hour maybe, and that's using the smaller charger. This one, just for a heads up, if you want to make sure to give yourself plenty of time, because it obviously will take time to charge. I will get you updated and let you know. One other thing I did not go over was, and we'll just hold this here for a second, 3,200 lumen. And the time on that is 2 minutes plus 150. It'll drop down to 600. That'll get you 250 meter. High is 1,200 lumen for 110 minutes. So you'll get a lot of run time out of the 1,200. It will then drop to 600 lumen for 30 minutes, 150 meters. So you're going to get plenty of throw. By the way, this one does 145 meter of throw. And then medium is 300 lumens, which is plenty for 9.5 hours, 70 meters. That's a ton of time. Low, 50 lumen, 52 hours. Moonlight, which is 5 lumen on this, is 12 days. So I forgot to cover that earlier. So that'll just give you a little explanation of how long this will last. I'll get back with you as soon as that charges. See you in a bit. Hallelujah. We have green, which by time you see this part of the video, you're going to see, I Googled it. It says it takes 6.5 hours to charge this light. I really didn't think there was anything wrong with it, but I was starting to wonder. So 6.5 hours. So if you use this and you're at half charge, be sure you give yourself plenty of time to charge this light. So at night, once you mount your LDOC, or whether you mount your mount bracket system that comes with it, I would strongly suggest charging this before you go to bed. Let it charge all night. All right, let's take it outside. All right, guys, I made it outside. Excuse me. I've got the porch light turned off on the house. Over in the distance is the pole light. So we're gonna, as you can see, it's totally dark. We're gonna start out with the S1R2 baton. If this will hit the woods, and as always, I'm seeing better than what you can on the camera. It seems to be, as I said in my previous video, that the iPhone 11 Pro that I have for my phone, the camera seems to work better at night than the GoPro Black 7, Hero Black 7 I have. So here we go. One feature on the S1R2 plus the Seeker 2 Pro is, and I didn't mention this earlier, whether your light is turned off, as long as it is not in lockout mode. Like right now, my little baton is on. you can go straight to turbo by, even with it off, by just double clicking your button, which is what we're going to do because I've already covered the S1 R2 baton. The woods are about 60 yards out, so here goes turbo mode on the S1 R2 baton, 1000 lumens. And this light is amazing. Let's light up the house. Get away from the house, light up the house. Get away. The house is probably 30 yards. But the woods and that big tree, you can see the little utility pole just to the right of it. That tree is probably 45 yards. And then you can't really see the woods with the camera with this light. I can. So turn this light off. There we go. Now we'll have the Seeker 2 Pro, and we will start out on moonlight mode. That's 5 lumen. Let's turn her back off. 5 lumen, 15 lumen. Now we're going to jump it up to I believe that's 300 lumen. Once again, the house, away, the house. You can actually see the dogs, little black spot there at the bottom. Now we're going to go to, oh, sorry. That is 1200 lumen. 1200 lumens. Away from the house, back to the house. And now we're going to go to turbo, which is 3200. And I really don't know how well you can see this, but as far as I can see up in the woods, this light's doing it. Here's the house, the light. We could even shine it, even though the pole light's there. That tree you're seeing there is probably 50, 60 yards. And there's trees behind it, seeing out the road. Once again, nothing. And I'm seeing total darkness also. And then the woods. 3200 lumens. Now, one other feature. Let me turn it off. Turn it down. One other feature. The light's off. Triple click for strobe. Then it goes back to memory mode. So what we're going to do now, see what level this is on. Okay, that's probably 15 lumens just to get me up beside the house here into the woods. And it is October the 5th or 6th, I believe. So the woods are starting to thin out somewhat. So got a tree down here. We'll walk it to the edge. So we're going to get the little S1 R2 out again. We're going to go straight to turbo. Double click. Turn that off. We'll go to the Seeker 2 Pro. Straight to turbo. I mean, absolutely lighting it up. We'll go see if we can, this tree's down. Turn the Seeker 2 Pro back on. Here we go. Let's try this. So we're just going to step it up. Okay, as you can see, my indicators, full battery, full power. This is 1200 lumen. Kick her up from 1200 to turbo. And then we'll shine, you can see the house, the back. Turbo. Absolutely lights it up. And as you can see, this is a spread light, if you will. It's not a focus beam, but it's literally lighting up the whole backyard. So we're gonna turn off the camera for a second here. I'm gonna do a little test that I had done with my S1R2 baton across the road to a pasture. So I'm gonna walk down there and we'll start again, just to kind of let you see what it looks like. You can go back and look at the video of the S1R2, which did amazing for a little light. But we'll just shine out the pasture here. See you in a second. All right, we're back at the spot where I did the S1R2, kind of shining out in the pasture here. We're gonna go back to the S1R2 for 1,000 lumens turbo real quick, just to show you. This is the S1R2 baton. The two trees in the very back that's got a gap between them, those are probably 55 yards away. Lights up the area pretty good. And Seeker 2 Pro straight to turbo, 3200. Look at that. You can really see those two trees back there. Now I can see the tree behind it, which is probably 80 to 100 yards. And I stepped this off in the last video. There is a oak tree that is 45 yards away. We'll hit it with the S1R2 turbo. Light off of it. You can see the tree right there's the mailbox. Tree behind it. That's about 45 yards away. Now we'll go straight to turbo with the Seeker 2 Pro. Wow. There's where we were earlier. Once again, let's step it back. I'm going to step back to make it, I'm counting as we step. We're about 60 yards away. Straight to turbo. It's everything I expected. Once again, I'm seeing things that you guys can't, but totally pleased with this light. Hope you enjoy. Don't know if you can see the stars in the camera. Beautiful night. Hope you enjoy your evening. Have a good night.